guys, Melissa here with TCT Crafts. Thank you so much for jumping onto our YouTube channel. So this week we are going to be doing a wreath design. So we're going to be actually making a patriotic wreath. So this is what we're going to be making today. I hope you guys enjoy it. If this is your first time tuning into our channel, don't forget to subscribe and comment below. Let me know who you are, where you're watching from, and if this is your first time crafting or if you're an experienced wreath maker. We'd love to hear from you. So without further ado, let's get started. Hi guys, Melissa here at TCT Crafts. Today we are going to be making a patriotic design. This will probably be my last patriotic design of the season. So this is going to be using a 24-inch artificial pine wreath base. This is one I got from Michael's after clearance. They had them on sale. It is just a one ring wreath base. I'm going to squish it to make it more oval and elongated. And then we're just going to flip out the ties. We're going to be using just two colors of mesh today. We're going to use red and a blue 10-inch. If you had 21-inch mesh and you wanted to use that and do kind of like your poof method, you definitely could. I'm going to take a couple of these branches right here in the middle and just twist them together. Let's do this one. And let's do one more. Okay. I've already cut up some of the red, but I saved the blue to do with you just in case you are new watching and you have not seen how I cut my mesh. So I just take a 10-yard roll, I drop it to the floor, I hold it up about to my chin, and I cut around the belly button area. So this is how I cut my mesh. You can use a rotary cutter and measure it out. You're going to measure it out. This is about 18 inches, between 17 and 18 inches. Now, if you're going to use a pre-made wire wreath form, so one that you see in the stores that have kind of like the tinsels, or if you're going to make your own from the Dollar Tree using pipe cleaners, I would make my ruffles much larger. I would make them at least 25 to 30 inches just because you're going to need more coverage. When you use the pine base, it really fills it in nicely where you don't have to use quite as much mesh because it creates the coverage that we need. So I'm just going to cut up a few of these. I don't know how many we're going to need, and we can cut it more if we need to. Maybe just a couple more. Okay, let's stop there, and if we need more, then we'll cut up some more. So I'm just going to curl my mesh. This is how I curl my mesh. I just take and roll the ends in and scrunch it together, make sort of like this little butterfly. And then we're just going to go and start putting these around our frame here. So again, going to twist and scratch. I'm just going to alternate the colors. Now, if you wanted to, if you're not comfortable with holding it up on your chest and scrunching it, because that is not how I started. I started on the table. You definitely can do so. You just will take and roll your ends in. So make like a little curl with your ends. That just helps it from fraying so much. The cut part is on the inside. And then you can just scrunch and then roll your ends that way. Or if you would prefer, you can just scrunch up like this and you'll have a different kind of look. So I prefer to roll my ends in just to help with the fraying. All mesh is going to fray, but it just kind of helps. Okay, and I'm just going to go around and continue alternating colors. So I'll do a few of these with you and then I will fast forward this part and we'll get on to the next step. So again, I'm just pulling these ties and making sure I push that right down to the rim and tying it really tight. Do not want that mesh falling out. Okay, so I'm going to finish up the wreath and we'll come back with the next step. Okay, so we have finished putting our base together. I added the mesh all the way around. And now we're going to add our centerpiece, kind of our focal point, which is this super cute Sweet Freedoms sign. So I'm going to put it kind of like that in the middle. I'm thinking like a big bow here, maybe a little small bow here, some balls and picks and sprays and all that good stuff. So let's get our sign added. So what I have done is I have just taken some 2 cable tied mounts and I super glued them. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of glue, hot glue just around it, give it some extra protection, and then we'll glue it before we get ready to put it down too. But I'm going to get 2 pipe cleaners and just run it through there. And we'll tie this into the frame. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just add some glue. To the back of this sign. I'm going to hold it there for just a second. And then we'll flip it over. And I'm going to find these ties and tie it in. So because we tied right here in the center, I can use those pine ties as something to tie this sign onto. And I'll add a touch of glue to that in just a second. Let me find my other tie. Just down here. This one I will tie to this other pine tie. Okay, I'm going to add just a tiny bit of glue to that where I tied it. There we go. So we've got our sign in. Okay, so let's work on our bow next. So I am going to start with this 4-inch. This is a fair silk. I just have a little bit of it left. So we'll use this for our big bow down here. Let's see if I can make enough to make a loop. Okay. I'm going to tie this in right about here. Let's see. I think I want to go in this way. There we go. Okay, let's add our other ribbons to it. So I am not as skilled with the hand bow as most designers, so I'm doing it, I like to get that 4-inch in first. It's a little easier for me. So let's go in. Now this ribbon I've had for some time. It is not my favorite. It's kind of loosey-goosey, kind of floppy, but we're just going to use a little bit of it, so I think we'll be okay. And I'm keeping in mind how I do my loops so that my stars are up top. I'm going to make this one just a tiny bit smaller. Okay. And then let's do, I'm trying to see if I want to do, yeah. Just going to add a little bit of this blue. If you have a bow maker, you can definitely use it. I normally do, but I am trying to practice. So I'm making myself not use it today. Okay, let me check my loops and make sure they're about the same size, which they appear to be. Okay, and let's add our last one. I'm going to go in with this super cute 1.5 polka dot. I'm just making a loop, pinching it, and then folding it back over and pinching it. Now we have all of our little loops in. I'm going to fluff this up. There we go. Okay, let's do our dovetails. On the 4-inch, I'm not going to dovetail. I will roll it up. I'm not worried about the tails being all the exact same size. Okay, so on this, I'm just going to fold the ends up. It's nice double-sided, so we'll see a little bit of that glitter down there. And there we go. Okay, so we've got our big bow here. Let's do maybe like a little funky bow right here. So I am going to use my bow maker to do the funky bow. So I want a tail going up. And actually, let's use, I have this little piece of red scrap that was on my craft table, or in my craft room. So I thought, well, let's just use it and get rid of it because it's red. It'll go. And then I can get it off my table. Okay, so I'm going to make about a 6.5 inch loop. Twist it. You guys can see this. And another 6.5 inch loop. And scrunch it down. So we'll have this tail up, this tail down. Okay. I'm going to save this a little bit. We'll use it for a couple little tails in the wreath just to kind of tie it in. Now let's go in with this one. And we'll go tail up on this side. And I'm making them a little long. We can cut them down, but now here's the tricky part because I want my stars to be up. So I'm just going to pinch it and make my loop in my hand. That way my stars can be up like I want them. Again, this is not my favorite ribbon. It's very, it looks pretty good in the bow, but it's not the easiest to work with. It's a little floppy. I probably got it, oh gosh, 4 or 5 years ago. I remember this is one of my first patriotic ribbons that I purchased. And I'm still hanging on to it. I haven't used it very much. Okay. Now let's go in with the blue. We're going to go back on top of that red tail. My loops are getting a little bit smaller each time I'm adding a ribbon. This is another one that is not the easiest to work with. This is actually a, I think it came from Walmart. It says holiday time. So it's probably Walmart Christmas time. That was back before I knew better. And I just, bought whatever ribbon. Now I know the difference between really good ribbon and not so great ribbon. But it is good to have some less expensive ribbons because it helps keep your price down a little bit. If you use all designer ribbon, if I were to use everything a designer ribbon to make this whole bow, it would get pricey. So if you stick with having your expensive, like your 4-inch, maybe one other ribbon, and then use some inexpensive 2.5 or 1.5 inch just to tie it all together, then it won't be as pricey for your customer. So it's just preference, but I do that a lot. I'll mix in a designer ribbon with some of the less expensive ribbon. Okay, so now I'm going to go in the other side, pinch, and make a loop, pinch, and down. Okay, now let's I'm going to get a zip tie and a pipe cleaner. You can just use the pipe cleaner. You don't have to use the zip tie. I just prefer to cinch mine with the zip tie first. It's just how I do it. But you can just slide a pipe clean under there and do the same thing. So I'm just twisting this so that it's in the center. And I make sure my tails and loops are in the direction that I want them before I make it too tight. Okay, now I'm gonna run this pipe cleaner straight through the back of that zip tie. And now I'm going to cinch it tight. So now everything's standing at attention nicely. We'll fluff it some more once we get it on there. Let me cut the back of this off. And now let's add it to our wreath. So we're going to put it right up in here. So diagonal from the other bow. And I'm running it through the mesh to give it something a little extra to hang on to. And then tying it off in the back. Now we can cut our tails to the length that we want them. So I want this one a little shorter, or these tails a little shorter. That way we can really still see our sign. It's not getting hidden. Let's go on this side. Okay. Oh, need to do this one. There we go. Okay, so now we have our two big bows in. And let's add some tails. So let's take, I have enough of this red to probably go like here and here. So let's mix it with, let's do the red and the blue. Now I normally would leave these a hair longer, but since I'm trying to make the rest of this red work, which we're going to see if I can get another tail out of it. Okay, let's see. Maybe a small one. So it's a small little piece, but we're going to make it work. we'll go in with our other ribbon and do a couple more tails to add to that. Okay, so let's do just a couple tails with this. I'm going to leave it by itself. So maybe one right here. Let's do one top. Let's do one right up in here. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, now let's go add a couple with this 1.5 and the blue. So I'm just going to kind of go in between the tails we just did. Made that one really too long. And if you want to measure these, you definitely can. When I first started, I used a ribbon board and I just looped the ribbon around the ribbon board and I made them all the same length. I think either 12 or 14 inches. I just don't take the time to do that anymore. I find with these, okay, my camera that normally does the overhead view decided to do its own thing and I can't get it back on, so we're just going to finish this tutorial from this view. So hopefully by the next time we get ready to do next week's tutorial, it will decide to work properly. I am a little technically challenged, so I'm sure there's something that I could do to fix it, but I just don't know. I just don't know what it is. So we're just going to keep rolling with this angle. And I'm just going in between where I put the Stars and Stripes ribbon, and we're adding a couple of the blue and the Swiss dot. I love the scallop edge Swiss dot. I have it, well, I have the scallop edge ribbon, like a talk, in several different colors, but I love the polka dot. I think it's so cute. Okay, so we did there. let's skip and let's do one right down here, and I think we are going to be done with our tails for now. We need to add some more ribbon at the end. We definitely can. Okay. Just gonna dovetail these, and then we are done with the ribbon for now. Okay. I think we are good. So I'll hold it up and show you where we're at so far. So this is where we're at just with our 2 bows, our sign, and our ribbon tails. So now let's add, I brought these cute little top hats. These came from Michael's either last year or the year before. So I'm thinking kind of in the bow, since I only have 2 of these. I think we'll use those sort of our center. I'm gonna cut these down. I'm kind of thinking like, if I can get it in there right. Sort of right in there. I'm just going to dip it in my glue. Okay, and then I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm just going to, right on the lip of that top hat under there, just going to kind of glue it to the ribbon. Let's do it on that side. And I'm going to add a little glue just down in there. Okay. Now let's add one. So we've got the one right there. Let's add one up here. In there nicely. You can also take one of your little pine ties and sort of wrap it around there, which I'll do after I get some glue on it. So I'm going to take this pine tie, sort of wrap it. I'm going to attempt to wrap it. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Of course, I'm getting my fingers all in this glue. Okay. So let me fix my little loopies. Again, I'm going to take my glue gun and we're going to add a little bit from that hat onto that ribbon. Right down here on this side, and then I'm going to add some more glue to that pick. Okay. So we have little top hats on there now. Cute. Now I have, so I brought in stars and I brought in ornaments. So I definitely want to add the stars. So these are our flock stars that we have this year. These were new and I love them. They're so cute. So let's see. We'll add, kind of get our placement before we start gluing. Just going to cut these are actual ornaments, so I'm just going to cut the little ornament piece off. See where I want them. Thinking kind of like that. So let's start with the blue one first. I'm going to have it, clear some space. I'm going to have it tucked down in there. Come on, glue gun. There we go. I'm going to add a bunch of glue to the back of that. Okay, so it's kind of, sort of, it's not laying flat. It's sort of popping up. You don't want it to lay flat. Give it some, like, dimension, I guess is the right word. So now let's see this one. We will kind of tuck down in there. And get another blue stick. I'm just adding a ton of glue back here, and this will not go anywhere. Okay. Get these blue strings out of the way. Okay, now I have our large ornament balls. So these are Christmas ornaments, and of course at Christmas stock up on your red ornament balls because you can use them for Valentine's, patriotic, just all throughout the season. So I'm thinking kind of see where I want to put these. Taking one right there. Giving it lots of glue. And I'm going to hold it there for a second. Okay, let's get the placement on our other one. I brought 3, but I don't know that we're going to use 3. One there, we might use 3. So we put one, I'm thinking right up under here. Okay, so I'm gonna just raise my bow up and kind of push this underneath this bow. I'm going to hold it for a second and then we'll add some more glue. may even take and we can glue some of these tails to this ornament just so they don't move or flop around. They'll kind of stay where we want them to. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue back here on this ribbon, kind of put it where I want to on this ornament. And the same thing with this one. There we go. So that little ball is just kind of peeking out, just kind of filling in that little spot there. And we're going to be adding some picks and sprays, so I'll give it some length too, so that ball won't look like it's just kind of having its own party out there. So let's go ahead and use our third one. Right there. Sometimes this glue gun does not want to come off the stand very well. Okay, I'm just going to hit it with lots of glue. It is not going to go anywhere. Okay, I'm going to hold it there for a second. The last thing that we're going to add, no, I take that back. I brought two more things. So I brought these cute little star picks. And so we'll cut these up and use some of these. We'll do that next. Actually, let's do these last. Let's get our, kind of our outside done. So I brought in some of our blue honey locust, and then I had one red honey locust that was from another project, and again, I don't want it just laying around, so I'm going to use it. Just kind of, we cut it up and have a couple of pieces and kind of tuck it in there with the blue. So let's go ahead and get these cut up. So I'm just going to cut them into sections. I'm just cutting them right down here at the end. And we should get 6 pieces. So we'll have 6 of the red, and then I brought 3 of the blue, but we might can just get away with 2. We'll see. Okay, so there's our red pieces. I'm just going to cut up 2 for now. If we need more, we can get more. This is how I end up with leftover stuff. I pull, I take it out of inventory, thinking I'm going to need all 3, and then I don't. So then I'm stuck with a onesie. So I just got a little stash, but they're good for little fillers, just like we're going to do with that red one. Use them what we got. Use it up. Okay. The last blue one we may use, so these are going to go around the outside. That third one, if I do end up using it, we might do towards the center. We'll see. Okay, let's start with our blue. So I'm going to start around the outside. Just going to tuck it in there. I'm just going to alternate. I will have to use more blue than the red because we only have, we have less than that. So the next 2 I'll probably do blue, and then we'll do a red. We'll just kind of do it that way. let me add another blue, making right up underneath this ball. Okay, now we'll go in with another red. Still just worried going around the outside right now. We will at some point fill in around the center, but let's get the outside pieces done first. Make sure we have enough. Okay, so now we'll go in with blue. Just making sure that glue hits the pine ties so that it has something to grab onto. Now we'll go in with the red. Do two blues. I love Patriotic, but after a while, I do get tired of the red, white, and blue. Because really, I mean, you can't really, you know, other than just kind of doing different colors of the red, white, and blue, like more of your traditional bright red, white, and blue, or you could do the, like the navy, or more of the, what do you call that? I'm drawing a blank. Primitive, like a primitive, those colors. But other than that, you know, can't really stray too far from red, white, and blue on Patriotic. So after a while, you get ready to move on to something else, and that's where I'm at right now. This will probably be my last one. Which really, I didn't do this too many this year. I had a few from last year that didn't sell, so I still had some in my shop, so I didn't really do a whole lot of new ones. Okay, so I've got a couple of pieces. I'm going to go ahead and start working towards the inside now. I'm going to put one right up underneath this little top hat, and that's going to help kind of cover our little pine tie that's showing there. Let me see if I want to add a red and a blue. Why not? Okay. Well, let's see. Do one. I'm going to go in towards this way with it. We kind of have a big spot right here of the green, so I think I'm going to take and add a little piece of mesh right there. Just to kind of help cover that up. We have a little bit too much green there for my liking. Okay, that's better. Okay, now I'm going to add this blue one in here. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's use this last one. I don't have to save it. And we'll put it towards, keep putting it towards the inside. Let me see. Let's do one right there. I think I want another one down here. Do one kind of under our bow that way. A couple pieces, so let's do one down under our bow there. We'll have to fluff this bow back up before we're done. One little piece. So let's see where we want it. Kind of got a hole right here, but I don't think this is the right thing for that. So maybe we'll do a star. Let's put one down here at the bottom. Okay. So we've got our, let me show you where we're at so far. So we've gone all the way around. We've added those little glitter sprays. Now let's go in with our stars. And I'm going to cut these up. If you want to use the whole pick with these little, I cannot talk today, guys. I'm so sorry. If you want to use these little white glittery things, you definitely can. I am not. I'm just going to only use the stars. So I'm just going to cut off the stars. And you can save these little, I'm not, just because I have enough stuff laying around that I've saved and then never used. So I'm just going to pick off the stars and chunk the rest. Okay. So now I have a hole right here, so let's add a star and get one that's a little shorter. Yeah, let's go in there. Kind of fill that in. Let's go one right in there in the bow. Go with this side. So this one's going to be kind of tucked in there, so it's not going to be as noticeable from the front, but from the side of the wreath, you'll be able to see it. That way if someone's walking up to the side of your design, they will see it. I don't like that one there. Let's do one right there. Let's add a dab of blue on that one. Okay, I'm gonna leave, let me cut up this one. I'm gonna leave some of the stems longer because I need some longer stems for the top and the bottom. I cut those ones too short. Okay, so these ones I'm gonna leave long. Okay. These longer pieces I'm going to use to tuck down in here. Let's use a shorter piece like right up in here. I'm just filling where I see the green pine ties. And some of these we can just cut. So I'll just cut that one off. So where I see some of the green, I'm just adding some of these little stars, just kind of hiding that. Let's do a long one. I don't need it that long. Maybe this one. No, it does need to be longer. Yeah, right there. There we go. So it's kind of peeking up through the bow. That one for the bottom. So I'm just using these for filler. Cover up some of the green pine ties. This one I'm going to cut. I'm just cutting these off. Got one right there, so I don't want to put that back to back. So let's get one of the longer ones down towards the bottom. I'm going to wrap this pine tie around it too. It's just going to kind of poke out of the bow just a little bit. Okay, I have a few more. Let me cut this one off. we need one right there. All right, let me see. Let's do one the same spot coming out on this side of the ball. Perfect. One more. Let's tuck that one right in there. Ow! All right, I think we are done, guys. So I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'll probably go around, and let me just show you. I'm gonna go around and just clip some of these little pine ties that are still exposed, and just clean it up a little bit. But that's all we're gonna add to it. Let me pick it up and show you guys. So that's what we have so far. Well, not so far, that's what we have. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time.